What are some fun things to do around with your so at home that isn't sex? Do the 36-ish questions that make you fall in love. I think you can find the list on the NYT or anywhere online probably now. For the lazy, here are all the questions in order. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Would you like to be famous? In what way? Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you are going to say? Why? What would constitute a perfect day for you? When did you last sing to yourself? To someone else? If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? Take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? What do you value most in a friendship? What is your most treasured memory? What is your most terrible memory? If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are now living? Why? What does friendship mean to you? What roles do love and affection play in your life? Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. When did you last cry in front of another person? By yourself? Tell your partner something that you like about them already. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet? Your house, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be? Why? Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing? Why? Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. Thanks for listing these out. I've never heard of this and TBH have been having some problems in my relationship. We've been drifting apart for a year, as both of us have had busy contracts away from home for long stretches. I'm gonna ask her to spend some time with me and talk these through next week and see if we can reconnect. I appreciate you listing them out. Godspeed, my friend. I hope everything works out for the best. True story, the 4th date with a girl I asked her all these questions. We laughed about how silly this thing is. Then 4 years later we have a baby together and still going strong. Correlation or causation? Last night before bed, we made shadow puppets on the ceiling using a phone flashlight and our hands. She giggled at all of my dumb attempts. My awful duck puppet led her to do a spot on Donald Duck impression that I've never heard her do before. Made me laugh hard. This might be a good spot to find some ingredients. Learn a new recipe together. Just got a new pasta maker and we're gonna learn to make pasta. Lasagna plates and noodles from scratch. A little music in the background and voila. You learn a new skill together, which you also get to eat. When my partner and I moved house, we found a small Yoda figurine while we were unpacking. Neither of us had ever seen it before. It is now a surprise Yoda, and we take turns hiding it around the house, for the other to find/discover. When it is located, the person who found it shouts Yoda Dea, laughs, and then hides it again. I live surprise Yoda. Edit. Mistake did I make? Both live and love the Yoda I do. Edit 2. An incomplete list of places where Yoda was hid. Atop a weeping angel. Inside a box of tea. Under the cap on a can of hairspray. Inside a packet of wet wipes that had been taken to a festival. Inside a packet of cigarettes. Standing in the eye socket of a painted animal skull. Within the rib cage of a small, rubber skeleton. Strangely, some of the best places have been in plain sight, but situated somewhere that your eyes just move over, so that when you do notice it, it's extra baffling that you didn't see it before. We have the exact thing, but with a mini stuffed animal. This is the best game. Also, I haven't found it in a month. General cleaning of the house. This seems odd, but cleaning the house with your sew with music in the background can be oddly fun. Once you're done, seeing how clean and organized the house, and you'll feel that sense of camaraderie with your sew for tackling such a big, tedious job together. Workout. Home workout routines are fun to do together and you can challenge and make fun of each other. Puzzles. When you don't feel like moving too much, try working on some puzzles. Video games. Especially multiplayer games that you can play on the couch, on one screen, like fighting games, racing, etc. Or something silly like the games where you have to dance. Videoke. Especially while drinking. Careful not to annoy the neighbors. Learn a new hobby together. A musical instrument, art, digital art, woodworking, cooking, baking, etc. Learn a new language together. Find a board game the two of you like to play together. It helps if it has a theme you both or expansions that make it an ongoing thing. My boyfriend and I love playing the Arkham Horror Living card game together and it's become a constant activity we can turn to. We have yet to replay a scenario because new chapters to the story keep coming out. Read. I like to read out loud and don't get the chance to do it often enough, so while my boyfriend plays games on his computer to wind down in the evening, I read out loud to him. It works for him when he can focus on the game and the story, like listening to an audiobook or podcast in the background, but maybe not the best if multitasking isn't your style. Cook together. Find something that you both like that isn't too involved and make a night of cooking, or preparing if you work and need more of a crock or Instapot option, and eating with one another. If possible, not on the couch or in bed, but at the table. Feel free to dress up the table too, put a candle on there. Even if you cooked hot dogs together, make it the fanciest damn hot dog dinner you ever did see. Multiplayer video games can be fun too. I'm not a huge gamer myself, like, at all. Hand-eye coordination is shit. But my boyfriend got a Switch recently and took the time to teach me to play Super Smash and then we played together for a little while. Pop in a movie you've both seen before and enjoy your own running commentary as it plays. Crack jokes, make comments, and enjoy the movie all at once. My GF and I have a movie list. The idea is this. I have a list of movies I love that she hasn't seen and she has one of movies I haven't seen. We take turns showing each other a movie. I had her watch Howl's Moving Castle with me, she loved it. Next up is Spirited Away. Her movies tend to be more chic flicky, but I still enjoy watching them with her. Plus we've expanded to shows and she's gotten me into GOT which I could never get into on my own. When it's all done we'll have seen each other's movies completely. You can learn a lot about someone from their taste in movies. One of the reasons I knew my ex wasn't for me was that he never let me pick a movie for us to watch. At first I'd always let him pick because I didn't mind, but as soon as I started making suggestions it was always a no. One time I got stubborn and was like, no, we are finally going to watch what I pick. He moaned and groaned and hated the movie the whole way through. What a dick. My ex was the same. I was always overly accommodating for her and always let her choose everything, from TV to movies to food. Then one day I really cared and wanted what I wanted and it turned into a fight. One fucking time out of 100 times I've let you choose and you fight with me about it? That was it. I'm a little late, but my wife and I since we got married will play cards together. The loser of each round has to pick up/clean 10 things. At the end we've played some games together but also got a lot of cleaning done. Edit, thanks for the silver. The ultimate game is getting more karma than my wife. Edit, gold. I may never need to clean again. Thanks. I've found try not to laugh videos much more fun with my sew. I will go on a Reddit. See one of the top questions that look interesting, then ask her that question. It almost always gets good conversation going. Edit, wow, this blew up. I was really tempted to erase my comment and replace it with, we like to go to the park and push over little kids. Thought it would be funny, especially seeing all the, oh, we do that too, comments, but I don't know if mods would ban me or not. Good suggestion. Gonna try this one out. Goes home, hey, babe. What are some fun things you want to do that isn't sex? Pillow fort, with subsequent break-in of said fort because no girls allowed. Then let her stay because I guess she's not so bad. GROSS. Get rid of slimy. Girls edit. It's kind of funny my top upvoted comment is about Calvin and Hobbes. Long live Calvin and Hobbes. One time, my sew made a fort and I got mad that he wouldn't let me in it, so I turned into Godzilla and wrecked it. His defense mechanism was to scream and roll up in one of the fallen blankets. Unbeknownst to him, my hand was stuck in the blanket and he thought my yelling was still Godzilla mode. Turns out he broke my wrist. Be warned, now I know. 1. Bill and 6 weeks of healing later, pillow forts are dangerous things. Don't demonize pillows. That sounds like a blanket fort problem. For my last birthday my wife bought 2 of those foam ball shooter guns from Costco. Every once in a while one of us will come home to table forts and obstacles, with a loaded ball shooter waiting by the door. I love her. She's awesome. Read books. Play Overcooked. Edit. Reading together. Imagine sitting quietly with your so each reading something. You don't have to talk. You're both engaged, and you acknowledge each other non-verbally, touches, glances, etc. Pause to read some passage you like to her or ask what a word or cultural reference means. I think it's very relaxing. Recently she was reading The Three-Body Problem, which I've already read, and I was thumbing through Rick Steves' Spain because we're going to Madrid to climb in a few months. I recall a movie quote that escapes me where someone is explaining how a good test of a relationship is comfort in being able to just shut the fuck up and relax in silence. Maybe someone can help me remember? And Overcooked is absolutely stressful, but that stress doesn't have to be bad. In a 4-person scenario everyone is inevitably yelling over each other. I play video games to relax and have since I was a kid. She gets really hyped up. There's a planning/engineering aspect to this as you inevitably will fail a level, which is fun. She's a much more organized planning-oriented personality. I have noticeably higher mechanical skill at a PS4 controller and I can watch what she's doing and still throw chicken into pans across traffic. It's fun to blame each other for fucking up but nobody really takes the game too seriously. Also OP, all of this is actually just foreplay anyway. I'd equate Overcooked to Monopoly. It can ruin relationships. My husband and I almost never fight. We've mastered the art or calm disagreements and talking things out. We don't like raising our voices or anything but boy I can't contain it while play that game. If I have to tell him to chop some lettuce and he gives me tomatoes instead one more time I am going to lose it. No, but it really is a fun game. Babe, bring me the lettuce. I thought you said Christmas tree. I feel Overcooked would not help cement our relationship. I've considered murdering the children whilst playing with them. Hey, I need some tomatoes when you get a chance. We need tomatoes really badly. Get the fucking tomatoes. Next thing you know you're screaming, where's the lamb sauce? Why has no one served this yet? The rice is fucking ruined. They really have captured the feel of a restaurant. Overcooked 2 is even more intense. If your so is willing, a puzzle is really entertaining. Doubly fun if you throw a little alcohol into the mix. This winter, we bought 1,000-piece puzzle. Took us 13 hours to assemble it. It was so addictive we had to cancel the plans for the next day because we went to bed around 5 a.m. Next day, my so orders on Amazon 2 new boxes, one 2,000 and the other 4,000 pieces. Both like paintings. 2,000 piece we assembled through next 10 days. It was a pain because it took better part of our dining table and we had to eat in turns. For 1,000 pieces we managed to assemble the frame. Took us hours. After that we gave up. It's still in the box, waiting for one of us to get sick so we finally get around doing it. My estimate of time needed for it is a month or so. Just finished a 4,000-piece puzzle my significant other and I started 4 years ago. We moved house 3 times. Got married and had a child in the time it took us to finish that cursed puzzle. Just gotta glue it to some wood and hang it on a wall now. Oh, wow. If that's not dedication, I don't know what is. So you are saying that I heavily underestimated time needed? Maybe. For the sake of sanity of both of us it'd be better to return it. Also, I didn't even get around to take a photo of that 2,000-piece one once assembled. Our 3-year-old came to help us tidy up. She misunderstood, and with the most joyous smile in the world scrunched good portion of it. I wasn't even mad. There was something oddly satisfying in ruining 10 days' work within seconds. Tibetan Buddhists make sand mandalas which can take days to complete and then destroy them. No photographs or anything. It's designed to help them lose their sense of attachment to things. Your daughter is just an enlightened being trying to pass on her knowledge, obviously. Wanna really get wild? Raisin bran. With whole milk. Look at old photos. Ones from back when you first met can be fun, but even better are embarrassing baby photos and the like. Sometimes when the stars align we both yell the same thing at the kids. My wife is from a South American country, and I'm from the US. Our kids are bilingual. Sometimes we both yelled the same thing at the kids, but in different languages. It's like Duolingo's been drinking. Where are your parents? Best yelled at them in public when they're misbehaving. Nerf gunfight. It's all fun and games until someone gets shot in the eye, and someone else writes their spouse's name on the bullet as a reminder of that time that they shot their loving wife in the eye. Edit. I was wearing a half mask and my regular seeing glasses. But they kept fogging up and I thought, what are the chances he'll hit me right through the eye holes of the mask? Apparently, the chances were good. I wear my glasses every battle now. Also, I did not have it anywhere near as bad as some of you. It's all fun and games until I get fed up and get down the ultimator. It fires a foam missile at 70 miles per hour and unlike most Nerf-style guns, can actually injure someone. It may take a significant amount of time to pump up, but my god it kicks like a small medium caliber rifle. My fiancé will do something completely normal and playful like a little poke or shake or something and I'll go completely limp like I'm dead and every single time he laughs so hard and goes, OMG, stop I know you're faking it stop, while laughing. It'll go on for sometimes 3 or 4 minutes until he tickles me or I peek open my eyes or he catches me smiling and yells, dead people don't smile. It never gets old and I do it every now and again cause it's so much fun. That's not going to end well. Silver lining is that he least knows when she's faking it. Has heart attack. Stop fucking with me, Sharon. We went over this. Put on some lively music and dance. Even better if neither of you know how. My so and I do this a bunch. We'll just put on some music when we're cooking next minute we're doing cheesy dance moves like idiots in the kitchen. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Buy a ridiculous number of novelty rubber ducks and hide them all over the home. Never stop, even if it ends your relationship. I regret nothing. James Veach. We need to talk about the ducks. What ducks? The bathroom ducks. Boyfriend usually watches me do homework while he plays games. He finds it comforting and usually we cook together or we go to the gym across the street where we both train, play board games, or cuddle up on a couch watching movies, or spending a day in the kitchen cooking a massive meal just for the sake of it. Cooking together is great. You learn teamwork and communication, assuming you haven't been married for ages. And you discover a lot of weird ways each other do things having grown up in different houses. Plus, you get a good meal at the end. Who doesn't like food? A word of warning though. You can get fat together real fast because cooking together is fun and you keep doing it, and you keep making a lot of yummy food. And a few months later you look at yourselves and you're like maybe we should get good at making salads and salads only? Or, get this, you can discover those same weird ways and immediately argue about which one of you is doing it wrong. Oh yes. When my so and I cook together there's a lot of, why are you cutting it like that? What do you mean you've always done it that way? Yes, I get the general idea, but I'm sure your mom didn't mean that way. I'm sure your mom meant this way. All good fun until one of you loses a thumb and the other one is on the floor with a knife in the heart. I'm like this with my housemate all the time. He doesn't really cook, but I get him to help me cook. And the things he does defy logic sometimes. Also he always manages to forget how to do things. How do you want these carrots cut? Well, we have them the same way for this meal every time we have it. So, maybe that way. That sounds oddly specific. How about working on a project together? Build something. Paint a room, plant some flowers in pots. Teach yourselves to crochet or knit, then spend the time together talking while your hands are busy. AKA do stuff that doesn't involve a screen. Especially if you are feeling like you and your partner are drifting apart. Alternately outside of the house go for a walk, hike, or bike ride. It doesn't have to be long or strenuous, just time together where you share an experience. I like to purposely misunderstand her in ridiculous ways. She might ask me to bring up her post-it notes from downstairs. So I'll say no worries and bring up the toaster, then very seriously ask her what on earth she wanted that for. When she asked for her car keys and I dragged up the Christmas tree was probably the highlight. Edit, for those wondering. The car keys had a USB on the keyring. You should have heard her when the Christmas tree started coming through the bedroom door. I thought you said printer. Why would I say printer? That was also my question. I love fucking with my husband. This is great. I'm gonna start doing this. Sorry husband. This is how I make her both simultaneously mad and laugh at the same time. We play fight and wrestle sometimes, but that sometimes ends up in sex anyway. The last time my wife and I wrestled, it was a little over years ago, so 6 months into our marriage. I ended up laying there limp on the bed, unable to move my head. She was like, what just happened? I can't move my head blah blah blah. We get me to sports medicine guy, turns out I pulled a disc in my neck. Was in a brace for 3 weeks. So needless to say, we don't wrestle anymore. When our marriage was new during wrestling we somehow pulled my thumb completely out of joint. It was turning some awful colors and my husband was freaking out but I wasn't because I didn't feel it. He wanted to rush me to the hospital but I wanted sex. So I told him I'm going to just put it back. He screams no, don't touch it. But I said no I'm just going to put it back and I put it back. He was too freaked out for sex, which was actually funny to me, but it was late I didn't want to go to a hospital anyway since I was an administrator in one during the day. So the next day I went in and got it looked at through employee health and they were shocked I was able to do it myself. Hide and seek. Hiding as an adult is simultaneously easier and more difficult because you're way more creative about where you hide, but also like twice as tall as you were the last time you probably played. Yep, I'm fucking great at hiding, if I do say so myself. My trick is to go high if your ceilings allow it. So many people walk in a room and look at eye height and below, under beds, etc. Plus, the look of "you're supposed to be a grown man" when they finally find you silently giggling on top of the wardrobe is priceless. Everyone goes for under the bed first, you're right. My two best hiding spots have been behind the couch, under the throw quilt. I had flattened myself along the back, stretched out lengthwise, next to a bench in the backyard. I was wearing a black shirt, so I pulled in my arms and head and tucked my legs underneath and stuck my ponytail out so I looked like a trash bag. This was a game played in the dark. My best one I did was moving all the seat cushions on our sofa out by a few inches, then slide in behind them and let the back cushions settle on top so I was perfectly hidden inside the sofa. My wife gave up after 15 minutes and sat on the couch out of boredom. I let her sit for a few minutes before erupting out from under her and bear hugging her. I thought the neighbors would come knocking because she screamed so loud. I did this once without telling my wife we were playing hide and seek. She did get curious where I was and came looking for me. When she was standing next to me I couldn't help but giggle, which gave me away. She said if it wasn't for the vibrating couch and the snickering she'd never have seen me. How do you keep the laughter in? I sometimes find great hiding spot, but I ruin everything because I just loudly laugh. I used schadenfreude to win at hide and seek nearly every time I was seeking. I'd kick something noisy and make a big scene about having stubbed my toe. Inevitably one of the hiders within earshot would laugh. I call that the schadenfreudian slip. I had a high school teacher who told a great story about playing hide and seek with his wife as newlyweds when they bought their first house. He climbed on top of the fridge, he was over 6 foot, and held the banana holder in front of his face, and she couldn't find him for forever. He finally ended up making a noise and she jumped a foot and ran out of the room because she never thought to look up for a grown man. During a different round he was upstairs and changed his mind to hide downstairs while she was counting, and it turned out she was cheating and walking around while she counted. He was about to run down the stairs, and as he rounded the corner to go down he ran into her on the stairs. He screamed, pushed her and then had to catch her by her shirt before she fell down the stairs backward. He said he couldn't stop thinking about how he would have never lived it down if she had gotten hurt falling on the stairs because he had screamed and pushed her during a game of hide and seek. My siblings and I, all around 30, still play hide and seek whenever we are all at our parents' house for whatever reason. Sometimes we let the kids play too. ITT, when adults aren't having sex they're basically still acting like children. Isn't acting like children or making children the two great occupation of life? We meal prep then have a rotating selection of video games. Right now we have Pokemon Go and Escapists too. Before was Minecraft and Blackout. Before that was Overcooked and Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. Sometimes we have Mario Party or Mario Kart. We basically have been achievement hunting all these games and then go back just for the fun of it. My ex used to stand on my toes to keep them warm every time I made her a cup of tea. Because the kitchen floor was cold, she wouldn't get off, even when I had to walk to the fridge to get the milk out. I just have to waddle there and back with her still stood on them. Always made me laugh so much. I miss her. Sigh. Are you okay? My husband works third shift and I am home with 2 tiny children, so we usually don't see each other during the week for long periods of time. I have a giant dry erase board and we will leave little notes for each other. Just saying I love you or silly things like little poems or drawings. It's fun to get up in the morning and find a surprise on the board. For Valentine's I wrote him a dirty haiku in his card and I woke up to this on the board. Roses or red violets are finer, if you suck my dick I'll lick your vagina. That's quality right there. Are you married to Walt Whitman? My wife and I leave post-it notes all over the house. She puts them in my lunch and recently I had to go on a TDY for a while and she left a post-it in my Switch case. We got some of the cutest fucking couples in the world in here. We sometimes get a little crazy and hold hands. What part of that isn't sex do you not understand? Be sure to use a glove.
Aww.
Hell no. This is where I draw the line. Are mods asleep? Delete this pervy post. Enough is enough. Wow, dude, she could end up pregnant. We watch YouTube videos, movies, TV series. We even like to wrestle in bed. He's ticklish and I freak out if he trapped me inside a blanket. So I try to tickle him and he try to trap me in a blanket. We wrestle our way to a win. We always end up laughing out loud and screaming. We also like to massage each other, read articles online while cuddling. Sometimes we play cards too. Oh, and this might sound weird, but I like to pluck his gray hair for fun. He enjoys it, so it's fun for both parties. Having your gray hair plucked is so relaxing. Blanket fort, candles that won't cause you to be engulfed in an accidental inferno, alcohol, nibbles/snacks, and a movie. Early 30s going on 12 years old apparently. We're just kids really. Held back by social contracts and expectations. Want to make a blanket fort in your 30s? You make that blanket fort. You go Glen Coco. Wife and I are in our mid-40s. We build a massive blanket fort each New Year's while drinking Dom. Cooking competitions. Most recently we did 1 tons. Who came up W the best filling. You can do soup, cakes, anything. And you learn grow and get to eat the results yum partying face. My ex and I used to play Chopped where we gave one another 4 random ingredients we had on hand with which to cook. We play Minecraft together. It's fun working together to build a house/base. And also all sorts of machines because he heavily mods the game. One time we had a decorations mod installed, I messed around with it and found I could make a baby crib. But the closest thing to a baby I could make was a creeper doll. So I put the creeper doll in the crib and said his name was Junior. And that he was our adopted son. So then made it a game to mess with me by hiding him. Another time we had a mod that replaced the villagers with actual people, and also allowed us to have a real baby. Our first son got bit by a zombie, so I locked him in his own personal dungeon until we were able to make a cure. We ended up having something like 20+ kids because So kept sneaking up behind me and pressing the make a baby button. Eventually, our children started getting married to each other and having incestuous babies, so I had to build them all little condos so I could separate them and prevent our incestuous kingdom from further growth. I don't think they've updated that mod since 1.10. Man, I miss it. Basically everything. I love that guy. Bob Ross painting party. Buy 2 canvases and follow Bob's tutorials. Did this, but my best friend is an actual artist, so she has something good looking and mine looks like the forest is on fire. It's still my favorite possession though it looks like a 4 years old painted it. Do a project together like restoring an old piece of furniture, making your own beer or wine, or writing and illustrating a children's book. You'll have the benefit of learning a potentially profitable skill. What about cooking meth together? Oh. I love projects together, but not with my particular partner. We really suck when working on something creative. Instead of having a project Vicen plus to-do list, we keep adding and changing the scope of it until it ends up unmanageable. For example, the last project we've been working on started well over a year now. We have little counter space in our kitchen, but there is enough space to fit a smallish island. So we decided to build one, since all we found in shops was too big. We talked, made sketches and even 3D model. I was in charge of design, he was supposed to build it. He's a handy guy, so it should have been straightforward. I'd help with minor stuff if needed. Went to DIY shop, bought all supplies. Super excited. He spent few weekends in the cellar, Aka workshop. I would go check up on him now and then. It was not moving. Instead of building it, he scrounged Spock app to find more add-ons, but never really working on the original design or how to incorporate those ideas. Now we have a wine fridge, shelves, wheels, 2 bar chairs that need some work, some racks and few more bullshits. What we don't have, a kitchen island, nor surface in kitchen, nor kitchen drawer space. Play a Sims or Civilization like game together. A lot of fun. Wow, you made me realize 2-player Sims would be awesome with the right person. My husband and I game together a lot, it totally helps us bond. Except for the time in Civilization when we got nukes. I have nukes. Who should I bomb? Me? What about India? Gandhi has been a dick this whole time. I wonder. Me, someone just nuked my capital. WTH? What? Oh. Yeah. Me, you? Why? I didn't mean to. I haven't let him live that down for the last 7 years. We just do our projects, art and hobbies together. We brew kombucha and beer, grow plants and cacti, rearranging house and help organize things in each other's rooms. Currently helping each other learn Japanese. Also watching movies in Japanese too. Make fancy cocktails and drink them outside or on the roof. We did some live casting the other day. That was fun. Lots of dancing, hide and seek and scaring each other. Having a spa date and putting on face masks and having a bath. I made up body scrubs for this once. We do pottery together. Lots of cooking elaborate meals and making ferments and treats. Have a few glasses of wine and get tipsy together. For us, there is always tons of laughs when this happens. Not legally allowed to do that yet, but duly noted. Dancing, because if they really are you so they shouldn't judge and you can just dance however the hell you want without being judged. Just put on a music channel and away you go. Unless your so is a professional dancer. I don't dance even when I'm alone because I'm embarrassed. Tidying up the home. KonMari in this biatch. I tell my so that cleaning turns me on, so he helps me clean and I get sex. It's a double win for me. We call it chore play. Me and my girlfriend play an incredibly childish game of tag where we just tap each other repeatedly and see who can avoid being tapped. Always ends in hysterics. We do this but we can only tag each other's butts. Even better if we do it in public and have to be sneaky about it to not look like weirdos. We like going to a big supermarket at night, dancing to the crappy music, ice skating using the trolley to glide about, playing catch with iceberg lettuces before we put them in the trolley. Basically having a really good giggle whilst doing the mundane. If you can have fun with your so while doing the groceries, they're the one. Walmart at 1 a.m., the best date night. Sit quietly in a room together doing your own stuff for 50 years until one of you dies. It's going well so far. Richard, is that you? We need more bananas. Go to the store, will ya? Playing games together. Anything from board games to card games to video games to sports, etc. Edit. It's 5:30 in the morning and my phone is blowing up. Let me get my sleep, you cheeky tarts. JK. Thanks for all the likes. It can also be really nice to be together without doing the same thing. My GF have never really played a lot of video games, but I managed to get her into Super Mario Odyssey. So while she collects moons and screams at the bosses she dies to, I'll just play some Stardew Valley on my PC and give pointers every now and then. It's really soothing to be able to be in each other's company without having to actively do something together, just enjoying what you want to enjoy, in the presence of the person you love the most. My wife and I occasionally do this thing we call fun space. We take 10 minutes planning what we want to do. Then, we each get to lead a 25-minute period of activities of our choice, no technology involved usually. It can be anything from painting, yoga, playing catch, Marco Polo on dry ground, hardcore the floor is lava, massages, etc. It can be a bunch of activities in that time or just one. The main rule is that the person not leading must be very enthusiastic and positive about what the other person chooses. It's amazing how much choosing a good attitude makes things so fun.